Australia have won the Melbourne Test by 184 runs. Certainly not a good news for India here, courtesy some extremely poor shot selection and irresponsible batting by the top-order Indian batters. The trio, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and Rishabh Pant, fell to the shots they should have and could have avoided easily. The phrase, learning from mistakes, is not for the ones blinded by their arrogance and disrespect to a situation and opposition. No team viewers can think of winning a test match when 9 players depart in single digits. A pathetic, irresponsible display by the team that boasts of 2 of the best modern-day batters. For 39 deliveries, Rohit looked well in control, and then came yet another familiar suicidal attempt. Going for an aggressive shot against his nemesis, Australian captain Pat Cummins, Rohit edged straight to Mitchell Marsh at the gully to spark a mini collapse in the Indian innings. KL Rahul departed 5 balls later, caught at first slip by Usman Khwaja to an almost unplayable delivery by Cummins. When the going gets tough, teams look up to experienced players to lead by example. For India viewers, 2 senior-most players in the side appeared to be bad influences for the team at the Melbourne cricket ground pitch. Neither Rohit nor Kohli appeared ready to learn from their mistakes. Virat too perished to his basic instinct of flushing outside the off-stump. A Mitchell Stark delivery he should have left in that situation. Kohli flashed to Khwaja in the slips. Now with India 33 for 3, the hosts got the license to conquer Fort MCG for a 2-1 lead in the series. India waged a mini battle to save the test when Rishabh Pant displayed a rare resilience to add 88 runs for the 4th wicket with Yashasvi Jaiswal. When things appeared moving away from the home team, a cricketing suicidal attempt by Pant confirmed the defeat for India. Now when a chase was absolutely out of equation for India, Pant lost his wicket to the lure of going for a big heave, ending up caught at long on by Marsh of Travis Head. With these Rohit, Kohli and Pant acts, a defeat could have been the only one possible result for India. You can't expect Nitish Reddy, Washington Sundar and Ravindra Jadeja to rescue the team successfully all the times. Jaiswal fell in 80s for the 2nd time in the match, to a shot he should have better avoided. With more than 21 overs left in the match and 12 of them with the 2nd new ball, nothing could have stopped Australia to win from here. At the fall of the 7th wicket for 140, India was still 200 runs behind. Let's quickly go across to my colleague Meha, who's here with me in the studio. Meha, very good afternoon to you. Do go on and tell us, how bad is it for Team India?
Thanks, Sneha. Good afternoon to our viewers and to you as well. Well, all I can say is that if this doesn't force the selectors to think of some big decisions, then I don't know what will. This was a test match which India had chances to win or draw even on the last day itself, but it wasn't meant to be, and that is because of their senior batters. When you have the experience of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma in the team, and yet they get out 2 familiar shots that they shouldn't be playing on a day when they are trying to save a test match against a team like Australia, they did just that, and India are now looking at, first of all, not qualifying for the World Test Championship final, and secondly, they are losing the Border Gavaskar Trophy after 12 years. So this is a huge moment, and why I say this is that this is the time when the senior management, when the selectors, when the BCCI needs to decide what to do. Are we now looking at these players, the senior batters, the legends, and saying, you know what, we should continue, let us give them more chances? Or are we going to be strong right now and say it's time? Yes, they've been great batters. Yes, they've been legends for the side, but it's time to take tough decisions. And after this loss in Melbourne, I think it's imperative now for India to look beyond these 2 players for sure. And the whole year has been the reason, Neha. It's not just this series. I think this sort of was the last nail in the proverbial coffin. The whole series, the whole year has been terrible for these 2 players. I mean, both of them are averaging in their 20s. Virat Kohli is, I think, averaging 24.7. Rohit Sharma slightly better, but in decimals. In the last 10 innings, they've been absolutely terrible. Even in this series itself, if you look at Virat Kohli's average, despite the 100 in Perth, he's averaging 27. So we've come to a point where this team needs to look beyond these players. And just in contrast, you look at someone like a Nitish Kumar Reddy, given an opportunity, first time playing in Australia and does so well. Your top two batters, top two run scorers for India in this series are two players who had never come to Australia before this, and they played their first test series in Australia and have scored so well. I'm talking about Yashasvi, Jaiswal and Nitish Kumar Reddy. Maybe it's time to look at the future, look at some of the younger players who are coming through the ranks and give them the opportunity to play in place of these legends who are not scoring runs.
Right, heaving a sigh of relief there, Meha, disappointed clearly as we all are. Meha, I want to ask you, I'll go to Rohit Sharma a little later, but what about Virat Kohli's future in Test cricket for India after this loss?
It's a difficult one. I'm going to be very honest with you, because the next Test series that India plays is in England next year, in the second half of the year. I think in July is when that series is, which means that before that, India is only playing ODIs, they're playing Champions Trophy. What this means is that for someone like a Virat Kohli, the next series will be another extremely tough assignment for him. And after what we've seen them play, the way they've played in Australia, I feel like they won't be open to the idea of going to England and playing over there. It is way worse when you go to England and bat in those conditions. The conditions are way different. They're going to be, there's going to be swing, there's going to be bounce. At least when you come down to Australia in places like Melbourne and Sydney, you're going to get flatter pitches. But even there, India have not managed to win. So imagine what's going to happen when they go to England. I have a feeling that I'm not so sure about Virat Kohli, because even the senior management believes that he has a few years of Test cricket left in him. But I do feel like maybe, just maybe, we've seen the last of Rohit Sharma after this series. I don't think I see Rohit Sharma continuing, but then crazier things have happened in Indian cricket, so who knows.
So what you're saying is that Rohit Sharma may retire after this series, as as we've also witnessed that he's been going through a bit of a bad phase with the bat and as captain as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it plays on your mind, when you're not scoring runs, Neha. Your captaincy, look at what he did in this Test match as well. The bowling changes. At one point, they had Australia on the mat. They were 90 for 6 down. And even then, they really couldn't, land in the final punch. And that was the difference, because you had Pat Cummins along with Steve Smith, who scored runs, who piled up the runs and increased that target for India, which eventually India couldn't get to. So Rohit Sharma's captaincy has come under question. Someone like Ravi Shastri has spoken about it. Sunil Gavaskar has spoken about it, has criticized how his captaincy is way more reactive. He needs to be proactive. When he sees that that he's not being able to get wickets, his team is not being able to get wickets, he needs to look at better calls. He needs to look at better field placements to be able to induce a batter to make a mistake, which he's not been able to do. So his captaincy is under question. His batting, of course, has been under question. And I think this probably is the worst that I've seen these two players play in during a sustained period of a year. I've not seen this at least happen with Virat Kohli, to see him not being able to bat well throughout the year, for him to be averaging 27, which I think is probably his lowest since 2011. It's just heartbreaking to see, but it is what it is. I think they have come to the end of their Test careers after this.